right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the House of Commons. My name is Enyo Suji, and to my right,
Ike Onoha.
Pascal Atuma.
Ellie de House of Commons.
House of Commons.
All right, cheers. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so recently in the news, a lot of you guys have heard or aware that Lamar Odom, he's doing better now, that he was hospitalized. That
What name?
Lamar Odom.
Okay.
Lamar Odom was hospitalized for various things, but he was hospitalized, and we'll get into the details of it. And this conversation started off because I was actually having a conversation with my cousin about this. Do you feel sorry for Lamar Odom because of the things he's gone through, his life story, his background, his marriage, his public life, the rise and fall, whatever. So I wanted to get some insight from the House of Commons and see what everybody thinks. So I'm gonna let y'all go first. Maybe starting off with Ice Steel. Let me know what you think. How do you feel? Do you feel sorry for him? And if you do, why? And if you don't, why not?
Well, I heard about the story about Lamar Odom from a friend, and because I hardly watch TV these days.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard the story, as a human being, I felt sorry for him. As a person, I felt sorry for him. But as a grown adult, as a mature man,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel sorry for him because I think he put himself in a position where of the things that happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
He consciously made those decisions to go to a brothel or hotel, wherever he was found. He consciously did those drugs or whatever powder substance was found, he was found with. So as an adult, we need to be responsible for the actions that we make and the decisions that we make in life.
I don't want to cut you off. Let me just give everybody a little framework.
Okay.
A little framework.
No, don't.
Huh?
Don't.
No.
Let everybody give a perspective and then.
No, I just no. I'm gonna let her give a perspective, but I just want to just say this. I want us to think of it as also a bigger issue. Like, it's not just about Lamar Odom's that one situation. It's his entire situation. So the bigger issue is how it affects us as black men, because in his particular situation as a man in this kind of entertainment type of thing. Just I wanted to see if we can make some parallels with that. That's all.
Okay. What do you want to go?
I'm just gonna make it pretty quick. No matter whether he put himself in the situation or not, I definitely feel sorry for him because he's a human being.
Mm-hmm.
But to kind of give a foundation for those who don't know the stories that I've read about Lamar Odom's life.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, his father left him when he was young because he was a drug head. His mother passed away when I believe he was 12 years old. He was raised by his grandmother who recently passed away. He was robbed and almost killed. He had a child who died, I think, in 6 months, sleeping. The kid died sleeping. His friend or his brother got killed recently. These are not excuses, but the mind is not to be played with. The mind it's easy for us to look from the outside and say, he's stupid for the decisions he made, but I think first you want to take a look at the foundation of the life that he actually experienced before he made it to the NBA, the ability to make it to the NBA and have a successful career, right? Faces troubles here and there, but still have a better career and professional life than most people who don't even go through these things have. So obviously something led to him going to these brothels because that's just a small scope of a larger issue in his life and in a lot of lives in our communities, which we'll go into. But yes, I feel sorry for him because at the end of the day, that's somebody's child. Somebody carried that person for 9 months and wished for that person to be successful, and him going through this is definitely unfortunate.
Is it me?
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry personally for Lamar Odom. I feel sorry for the African American society. I feel sorry for the black society in general. And the reason why I say what I say is because how many more times are we going to have these kind of stories? We had a Michael Jackson story. Doctor did this, he was shot over, whatever, right? From Michael Jackson, we went to the story of Whitney Houston. With another serious black soul gone, right? Our papa went from Whitney Houston went to Bobby Christina. Then we finished with that one now. We are now at the chapter of Lamar Odom. How many more lives that struggle to get up there do we, black people in the world, have to lose before our black leaders get together and form a quorum or a forum, right? That can, when you, it's not only that, before I even go into this, what is this black comedian that was doing very, very well? I want to say something. They say Cat Williams. Cat Williams. So these are talents that God has blessed the black society with, that we're losing right in front of us, right? And then we have people saying, oh, Black Panthers. We have people saying this black society, black community, community leaders, community this, community that, community this, community that. What are these people doing if we keep losing people through these same channels? I give you an example. Can I finish?
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't feel sorry for him alone, right? I feel sorry for the entire African American and black society. Now, Lamar Odom as an individual has been going through a lot over a period of time. So this issue that I put him in the hospital didn't just happen overnight. You see, but we have some black leaders who he respects, who I'm sure, if they got together, just one day of their life, they got together, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 of them, got together, called a meeting in a higher place, brought him in, and said, my brother, I know you have lost your dad or whatever you said. I know you lost your child. I know you got into this marriage, it didn't work with this Kardashian family, right? I know I know this is going on, I know this is going on, but we are your family. We don't want to lose you. Let me finish, right?
Okay.
We don't want to lose you, right?
Okay.
And then right there in that meeting, they figure out a way to help this brother, because sometimes you might have money, but you don't have people. Am I making sense? And the families do not, because what makes me mad so much is this. When these guys are going through what they're going through, you don't see the, can I use the word effing stupid families gather to find a solution. They only wait until it is almost late. Am I making sense? And now they want to come in. Come in when it starts growing. Let us find a way to stop it then, not when it's already almost late. That's my take on it.
Can I just throw something in there?
That's my take on it.
This is kind of.
You give your take on it first before you start. No. Give your take. Your
no, because I'm about to. Let me just pick you back real quick on what he's saying. Me and my friend will have this discussion often, and this is not just a black thing. If I have an issue, right, like I can come to you, maybe Ike, right? If I have a real issue, can I honestly? Let me just be like real. Can I honestly go to my community and tell them what like some real life issues, or they're gonna judge me and make me feel some type of way about my issues? Can they actually help me? And even if they could help me, can they really help me?
Right.
And that, I don't think that's just a Nigerian thing. That's.
Can I answer a question?
Okay.
Sorry. Before we digress too much, what do you feel about Lamar Odom? What's your stand about this topic?
It's funny. It's funny to answer your question. It's funny. It's a great amount of things. Like my exact response to my cousin is exactly what he said. The fact that he's a human being, I actually feel sorry for him for the fact just because he's a human being. But it's hard when you experience things like that. You wonder how much of that is self-inflicted, how much of that is just because you know you're in a situation where it's just tough.
I'm gonna say
like it's really it's not what he just listed. Like my problems ain't nothing near close, but I be having moments if I'm just by myself for a little bit. I'm like,
Okay.
That's it. Let me just if I'm just by myself for a little bit, I'm like, damn, my life is about to end.
We take for granted a lot the fact that we are still connected to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you this straight up, with all the morals, the ethics, the values that you get from Nigeria, when America's gonna kick your ass, America will kick your ass. You mentioned Cat Williams.
Yeah.
You mentioned Whitney Houston. You mentioned Lamar Odom. Do you guys have any idea where these people come from.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what they experience day to day? I was born in Washington, D.C. That's right next to Baltimore, Maryland. If you know what people see in Baltimore every day, I know say Nigeria how do,
No,
but America's heart is a little bit different. And
I will tell you the exact street
All right.
you need to go.
Now-
Baltimore, you go to Pennsylvania. Avenue.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those things are, and then let me just conclude by saying this. The thing that you said about the black community, and to connect to what you said, right? About can I really go to you for help? Number one thing is this. I saw somebody post this when Lamar Odom, they were making jokes about Lamar Odom, and this guy was making jokes, right? And people were telling him he's messed up for making jokes. And he said, everybody should shut up because before this happened, everybody was laughing that he was a crackhead. Everybody was laughing, right? And another thing is, it's nobody's responsibility to help a grown man if the grown man does not want help yet.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. How much of it is
I want to counter on that.
No. You just said your own statement.
Yeah.
You took
Yeah,
a long time. So hang on. No. Can I speak? Because LD, I spoke, LD spoke, you spoke. So can I speak?
Did you finish your point though?
I think you did.
Kinda.
I think you did. Well, Pascal, I know we all heated up, but I'm sorry. Let's just.
No.
There was something you said initially that where he was born, his upbringing and everything. I don't think where he was born, his upbringing is worse than mine. I was born in Ajegule. You know where Ajegule is? You know the ghetto of Lagos, Nigeria, Olodia Papa. So I don't think anybody that was born in America, I don't care how ghetto. I don't think America's ghetto is worse than Nigeria's ghetto.
Can I counter that?
don't think so.
Can I counter that with one
Well,
thing?
you know.
Can I counter that?
If you want to count that real quick, because I'm
Really
not
quickly,
done.
very
I'm not
quick.
done.
There's one thing that Jiggler has that Americans ghetto does not have. Family value. No matter where you are in
Okay,
Nigeria,
Thank you.
family value makes you think a different way.
Okay, let me teach you what I'm saying. I was born in
You a thug, bro. I'm a thug.
Damn,
You a thug.
We're talking about,
You out there.
yeah, if you want to talk how bad it is. There's no sewage system, there's no water drainage, there's no electricity, there's mosquitoes everywhere. Look, I got myself out of the ghetto. Do I have that ghetto mentality? Do I let it, control me? No. So Lamar Odom, whatever he's been through in life, he rose up above all those things. But now he's a grown man. You just made a good point. Whatever a grown man chooses to decide, he's the one that will determine if he needs help or not. Babayo, Pascalo, I think that's a very wrong generalization or statement. African community or leaders are not responsible for Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom is a grown-ass man. Even in America, once you're over 21, your parents can't even control you anymore because you are responsible for your actions.
Can I come in?
No. You will come in. Let me just finish. Somebody said something about donating a liver because they needed a transplant. He needed a transplant liver, and people are offering to give him liver. And there's lots of people in the U.S. UCLA's list looking for livers. If you can give your liver to Lamar Odom, why don't you give it to people that need it, that are sick? Why do you want to wait for the media to throw a spotlight for you to volunteer to give him a body part? Well, I mean, I'm going to go more into that, but you say what you want to say.
Okay, what I want to say, I want to hit on what LD said. LD said, and you supported it. LD said, Lamar is a grown man. You cannot give a grown man help until he needs it.
Until he accepts that he needs help.
Yes, okay, now. When you are sick, sometimes just an ordinary flu, they give you go to the counter, they have AM medicine and PM medicine. If you are a banker or a medical doctor or an engineer or a driver and you make a mistake and you drink your PM medicine in the morning by 7 a.m., right? Mistakenly, can you go to work that day and function?
No.
No, you can't. Why?
Because you made the wrong decision with the medicine.
And because something is controlling you, right?
Okay.
Okay. When a substance is controlling a grown man, right? Why do you have to let that grown man make that decision? Number one, it's a rhetorical question that I'm asking. Number two, Babayo, I'll use you as an example. If you, Ike or Noah, I come to your place, the Ike that I've known for many years, and I see that Ike is going the wrong route. Ike is not doing drugs. Ike, what do you think is the first thing I would do?
Maybe tell my parents. Or
The first thing I would do is to call Ike's brother in Houston. Right? And tell Ike's brother he needs to get here now. If I wait for Ike's brother for 24 hours, he doesn't get here, I'll call Ike's mom. Because I have all their numbers. As at that point, am I waiting for Ike to make the decision?
No.
No, that's not another rhetorical question. Number 3, once they get here, it is no longer in the hands of Ike for us. I'm speaking from my African perspective now.
Okay.
It's no longer in the hands of Ike for us to take him to rehab. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's number 3. Number 4, I use me as an example. Me, Pascal Atum. If not even for people to see me sick, my brothers or sisters that are watching this show now, and they see me speaking and I'm no longer coordinated, right? My phone will ring tonight. And I promise you, if my phone ring and I still sound out stupidly, one of my brothers or sisters will be here tomorrow. Well, in that case, right, no matter what, it's no longer what you want, even if I'm doing as I am. So that's what I'm talking about. Family, that's what I'm talking about, black community. See, a lot of people run away from helping others because they need financial help. In Lamar Odom's case, he doesn't need any financial help. All he needs is people that care for him, care about him, to come in and say, my brother, this guy will start.
Captain,
Well,
let me ask you a question. I'm sorry to bring this up.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but you just made 2 points that I made already. Number 1, Bros Ike said, if you want to Google Ajegunle, Google Ajegunle. Ajegunle is the most hood in Lagos. It's hood. But the one thing that you cannot take away from African culture is family value. You just mentioned, if Ike is misbehaving, I will call his family. I just told you Lamar Odom has no family.
Yeah, he ain't got nothing.
He ain't got no family. And he does not have family. His father was a crackhead who left. His mother passed away. The guy has nobody. So he really, truthfully, if you really look at it in the grand scale, he almost feels like he doesn't have anything to live for, to begin with. Another thing that I've read, some ignorant fools making statements about the Kardashian family, We had a subject about African American men going to white women. We also had a statement, we also had a topic about, do you have to get away from African Americans or black people to get, I'm gonna be real with you, Amy. You said something specific. If I have a problem, can I really come to you?
Yeah.
Let us be candid.
Yeah.
Sometimes in our communities, the reason why you will not go to your own brother about your problem is because they will laugh first. Let's not lie about this. They will ridicule you first.
Really
Sometimes when people ask me in my own culture, right, in Nigeria, what's wrong with you? The reason why I will not tell them what's wrong with me is because I know they only want to know what's wrong with me so they can go tell the next person what's wrong with me.
Yeah, you'd rather die,
It's fact.
with your problems than I tell your fellow Africans.
It is the truth. It happens a lot.
Good. Okay, look, another thing, Baba Yo, what you said, like with your example that you gave when you called me, if I had issues, you call my family. You're right about that. African leaders are not your family. They are political leaders. Everybody has an agenda. Look,
Thank you.
African leaders are not supposed to come to your help like that.
Who's looking for
not?
anyway?
Look, if you say family, brothers, that's different. And again, okay, remember the topic we said about white women. What some of the topics you just said that we've done on this show, and I told you guys the reason why most of our so-called athletes that do why they marry black people, the other race, outside the race or Caucasians, is because of the wealth. When poop hits the fence, who gets the big cheese? Who gets the wealth? The woman, right? Now, isn't this the case in the case of Kardashian now? Let's say they just found out that if Lamar was to not be here today or tomorrow, Khloe Kardashian is getting all of his wealth.
The reason why I don't like that though is because you're actually taking away the fact that there are women who actually, I'm gonna be real with you. I say this all the time. Chocolate protein is expensive. There are women who they give their heart to black men. Look, I'm not supporting any because I don't know them. But what I will not say is that money has anything to do
That
with what
does
these
not
ladies
take
are
away
doing.
from the institution. Let me tell
Okay,
you, it's
Okay,
all,
but
it's a bigger scheme.
Okay, can I
Okay.
come in with no verse?
Okay.
You want to go? Go ahead, go. I want to talk.
I think that this is really interesting because that's why I'm really listening, because I'm kind of torn because it's a mixture of everything. You're responsible for your own life. You are. However, there are extenuating circumstances that may cause you to behave a certain way. That may put you in a situation where you're kind of pushed to make certain decisions that you wouldn't normally make. For example, this is just an example. If you don't have enough money to take care of just basic things, let's say now, okay, your family, your kids, whatever, you don't have the money, you'll start to do things that you normally wouldn't do to feed the people that you care most about.
Okay.
Your mind will start to come up with different things that you wouldn't normally do. Now, the same thing happens when these kind of things happen in your life. When you have these experiences, and it's no back. People don't understand. And that's why I don't knock people who are very religious, because in these moments like this, what do you really have? Because you don't have anybody, you don't have any backing, you don't have any family, so all you have is yourself. If you, like, I've been blessed to have people, because I'm an only child, so I'm blessed to have people who have taught me really good coping skills. So when I go through real things, even though I could be really complaining, I'm not complaining like that, because I understand how things go, and I still need somebody to talk to.
Right.
When you are in a space like that where, especially when you have that kind of disposable income, not only can nobody really tell you anything, it's just a different thing. And it's not just Lamar, it's all these guys.
Okay, but that's why I'm coming in.
It's
Can
all
I
these
come in now?
guys.
Can I come in now? Ike, you said it's not the responsibility of the black leaders or
At all.
to take care of
Lamar Odom.
Odom. Now, what I'm saying is this: the world that we live in, who structured the rules and regulations?
Who said it? The white man.
The white man started the rules
Yeah,
and
he
regulations.
markets the
Now,
best marketer.
Ike, we both come from the same side, Omar here, right? In Omar here, do we have leaders, community leaders?
Yes.
If this was happening in my village, right? Don't you think the village chiefs would have called a meeting?
That's such a macro.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. So now,
Call the meeting to help you,
hold on. I'm coming to find out what is going
to
on.
find out what's going
They
on.
won't call your family?
Baba yo, I don't think so. Not on this level.
Not on this
Look,
level.
let me tell you. Let me
Can I
tell you.
finish?
Wait, before you go finish,
I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to go somewhere, right?
I'm finished.
We come to America, we learn a lot of stuff from America. And we take what we learn from America home. Why can't our African American people learn from us?
Now that's what I want to go to.
Okay, that's where you want to go to.
That's where I want to go.
Okay, so let me finish where I'm coming
Please.
from now.
Okay.
We have seen in our own eyes, we lost Michael Jackson, right? In our own eyes, me and you living in America, you and I living in America, we lost Whitney Houston, right? We lost Bobby Christina. When Bobby Christina was in the hospital trying to die, you saw every day the paparazzi that showed pictures of the family going, all that, doing all that. Now we come to Lamar Odom with the Cat Williams issue. My brother, it's not every day that an African American get a chance to play in NBA. Am I lying? It's
Well,
not
they're the one that dominate the NBA.
Yeah, but it's not.
But I get where you're going.
It's not easy.
Baba yo.
It's not every day.
I don't think it's realistic though.
I get where you're going. Where you're going. Where you're going is.
Hold on, I'm coming now, but yo, give me 1 second. It's not every day that we get an African American that go into that tax bracket, right? We have an African American president, for Christ's sake. We have the Oprah Winfrey's. We have the Michael Jordans and Magic Johnsons, who these kids were looking up to, like someone like Lama. They looked up to them. If a Michael Jordan just take 1 day of his life and call a Magic Johnson, right? And call an Oprah, which he can get that call. He can place that call. Let's just use only 3 of them. Right? And they call Lamar's phone rings. It's a Jordan calling Lamar. You don't think Lamar will answer that phone?
Chief, do you
He might answer, but I don't think that. I don't think that will straighten him.
Hold on. 7 billion people on earth. How many people are sick in the hospitals now?
the only reason why we know about him is because he's now in the hospital.
He's a
Or-
star.
or-
And he's a star.
How many people? Yeah, how many people? How many people are going through what Lamar Odom is going through?
how many percentage of African Americans are basketball stars?
Not that many.
Not that many. So why
That's
can't we pay attention to this particular one?
Let me. Can I?
But
ask
do you understand where I'm coming from, though?
Real quick,
Go ahead.
real quick. I hear everything you say. It sounds passionate and it sounds very soft. Look, the reality of life is this. Even the Lamar himself. Let's put it this way. Master P got on radio and was talking about this issue, right?
Stupidly.
Was not really stupidly.
Dumb.
It was not really stupidly.
Dumb.
He said something which, at that point, I was like, well, I would not really say something like this. I'm not going on radio and say something like that. But what he said, he made a point though. He said, look, he thinks that all this thing, what's happening now with Kobe going there to be on the side, blah, 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 and all those people, even the Kardashians, it's all a publicity stunt. In a way, he has a point. Where is Kobe before he got to that point? Where was he still close to Lamar? Look, they said Lamar was in the city, I think it was in Vegas or something. The Lakers came to play basketball. They didn't even let Lamar come close to the dressing room.
You know
to
why?
see, those are his fellow basketball players.
No, that's a professional environment. That's what that is.
Exactly.
Hold on,
But Lamar, as an ex-Laker,
No.
should at least should be able to see his fellow basketball players.
No.
Okay, why would they come and
Let me
see
say
him when
this.
he was in his
Because-
when he was down and out?
D.L. Hughley said something important
Okay.
to this same issue. He said, nobody's devils says, okay, I'm gonna wait for you to go take care of somebody else's devils. Everybody's got their devils.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their problems. I'm gonna be real with you.
Right.
It is the United States of America. Do you know how big this country is? The one thing I'm gonna say is, of course, I feel sorry for Lamar, but I'm not gonna fault anybody for not showing up when you needed help, because the only people that would know you need help are the people who are directly around you
True.
to begin with.
True.
The people Lamar hung with are the same people he went to the brothel with.
Yeah.
Those are the people that should say, yo, I think this is... So the people he directly associates himself with are
Exactly.
responsible.
Exactly.
Not Kobe.
Exactly.
Because Kobe got his own problems.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so LD, indirectly, I think you did you hear what I said?
What?
I'm not blaming Kobe for doing anything. All I'm saying is, so you're trying to say that Kobe didn't know that Lamar was spiraling.
How do we know Kobe didn't say anything?
Until he
That's
was
another thing.
out.
That's a good
Are you
point,
trying to
though.
tell me that?
How do we know Kobe didn't say anything?
True. Nobody.
Exactly.
We don't know that for a fact.
We don't know that.
We don't know
One
that
thing
for a
I'll say
fact.
is this.
But all I'm saying is, okay, now you know why I blame Kobe a little bit about that, because I said if Lakers had a game in a city where Lamar is and they didn't let him come close to Kobe, his so-called friend, why would Kobe now
What
come?
state was Lamar in when he showed up?
I don't care.
How do you not
I don't care. I don't
It's like
care.
saying you have a cousin
The-
that's
the
in
point
China
is-
and you're at work and he shows up.
Okay, so
you
you're
can't come in.
gonna wait for me when I'm down and out. That's when you.
Okay,
No, that's not what I'm saying. I said
I-
what state it was Lamar in when he went. Because if I'm at work in a meeting, corporate meeting, that helps me financially help this cousin of mine, and he shows up raggedy and high, he can't come to my job.
True, but that is when I would reach out to you more. I
course.
won't wait for you till you're
Of
down
course,
and
how do
out.
we know Kobe did not?
Exactly. But the
But
point is,
you-
Kobe being the leader of the Lakers.
Of the Lakers.
Yes.
Lamar is not the Laker anymore.
True,
Okay,
true, but he's an
okay,
ex-Laker.
okay.
That is when the help should have started, not until now.
Oh, but can I come in?
Yeah.
Everything you guys are saying boils down to what I said. It needs to go out there. We need to have the successful Black American, African American people in every community you are to form a community, to form a forum of community leaders.
you're on this, you're for.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah,
No,
right.
but is it-
It's already there.
Thank you.
not-
It's
That's what I
already
was
there,
saying.
but
Okay, if
the
it's-
thank you.
effectiveness of it
If it's there,
is the thing.
if it's there, right, they're
Yeah.
not doing their job.
The effectiveness of it is the thing.
Let me just say something.
Yeah.
The problem with this Lamar Odom situation is the fact that the reason why it's such a big controversial topic, because it's not just about Lamar Odom, it's a general issue for us. The thing about this Lamar Odom thing, and just in general, is my problem with black people, just black folks, and this is just black worldwide. we all have our own agenda. And the thing about it is because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of ignorance out there. And when I say ignorant, I'm not talking about somebody being stupid. I'm talking about you just not actually knowing. And the internet is great, because I'm trying to take it to a bigger thing. The internet is great, but there's so much information. You have to be intelligent enough to decipher what is real and what's fake, and able to know what is genuine, what's not genuine, what's authentic, and what's not, the real thing. And the fact that this person is trying to cut this deal, yet there's a greater good that they're doing, but it's an agenda there. You're protecting something. Another thing too is people are also trying to protect their pockets at the end of the day, themselves.
True.
Which goes back to the agenda thing. So it has to be a greater good that everybody's going for us as a people. So, hold on. When we talk about helping each other, that's why I'm kind of torn, because I definitely agree with the fact that you are responsible for yourself. There's a certain level, there's a certain boundary, there's certain situations that have certain rules and regulations. You don't just come up in a certain situation. If there's certain lines and regulations, but at the same time, you see a brother that's going through something, that's your brother though. That's the thing. But I'm not responsible for you, but I'm responsible to at least say, you know what Pascal is saying, hey, look, this is what's going on. But we don't, and which is like another bigger issue, we don't come together. So,
Can I
Yeah.
say something? First and foremost, let's just put some points out there. Number one, when we look at Lamar Odom's life, we look at Whitney Houston's life, we look at Michael Jackson's life, the one thing that we need to do is separate celebrity from real life. Celebrity is different. Celebrity has its own level of addiction.
It's a different level.
Let's just start with that.
Yeah.
Number two, again, I'm going to go back to Nigeria. I'm going to go back to Mexico. I'm going to go back to the Philippines. I'm going to go back to these countries where you rarely see suicide and addiction like that, because the value system is different. Right?
Okay.
In the United States of America, immaturity is kind of rewarded.
Tell it.
So if I'm saying the reason why there's no need for a black community to come together and save Lamar Odom, because number one, there's 7 billion people on earth. Number two, the people he directly associates himself with are the reason that he's going through whatever he's going through. That's number one. Number two, in our society, right? Before we need a conglomerate of black leaders in Nigeria, the foundation of our values already let you know that you don't live your life just for yourself. You live your life for your father's name, for your mother. So before, as a grown man, before I make decisions, before I drink too much, I think, if I mess up, who else is gonna have to deal with this?
Right? Family.
Exactly. You know, so all these things that we're talking about, right, is the real problem is not Lamar Odom.
No,
right?
it's not.
Because let's say one thing before we go into the black community. Let's not forget Charlie Sheens. Let's not forget who's really doing addiction stuff. Addiction is not a joke. But I talked to my friend the other day, and he said one thing that he's noticed about Americans who have come from other countries to the United States of America is that they value things a little bit differently, right? They make decisions, they make wiser decisions. So that's something that we should definitely look at. I don't think it's about a group of people coming together. I think the foundation of America's morals needs to change.
And what's the foundation?
What you just said now sounds like a conclusion.
Okay, no.
That was good.
Okay, I'm going to say something. When I finish saying it, I can shut up and back for the rest of the show.
Okay, that'll be a conclusion. Okay.
Yeah, for me, that's what I'm going to say. For me, personally, the way I feel, I would say it's a shame to all the black leaders in America that they keep losing their own very important people that God brought into their lives, into their communities. It's a shame to all NBA black players. They have the NBA or Black Players Association. I think it's a shame to you guys. It's a shame to all of you that think you've made all your money, African American, and you're in your house taking care of your business, and you sit down there and you see your fellow friends and you all party together. Because I know that when they call the NBA parties, ex-players and new players, they all have access they don't give to regular people. The same VIP access that you have to those parties, use it to help each other. Use it to help one another, and stop sitting down there and only go to the hospital when the person is almost dying. help the person before the person get to that point. That's my own conclusion.
Okay.
And that,
Well. Normally we don't respond to conclusion, but since this is not a actual
It's not a
conclusion, I'm going to
But
respond
I'm
to that.
done.
I don't think it's a shame to anybody.
It's a shame
It's
to
not
all.
a shame to
Oh,
no
shame
black-
to all of you, all
Okay.
the black leaders.
Can I speak?
Shame
then?
to all
Can
of
I
you.
speak, please?
Yes.
It's no shame to nobody.
For Lamar
Odom.
Nobody
Shame to
should
all
be
of them.
responsible for Lamar Odom. Lamar
No.
Odom is a grown ass man.
Shame to
Okay.
any one of them that go to the
It's-
hospital too to see.
It's well, it's no shame to no NBA Black Association
them,
members. They are not responsible. Lamar Odom.
They didn't do enough.
Lamar Odom is even surrounded by people that are not black. So why are you going to blame the black community now that he has problems? all the people around him are not black.
I don't even
So why are you going to blame the black
Where
leaders?
I'm coming from.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish. Thank you.
What do you know that you did?
Wow. Okay. Well,
Hold on.
I was thinking- can I finish?
Audi, just because your brother or your sister didn't do anything for you, you're just gonna let him or her die.
But you said shit to everybody.
Yeah, you're blaming people.
No,
You're blaming the black community for his misfortune.
I'm not only
Wrong.
talking about.
Don't do that.
Hold on. I'm not only talking about Lamar.
You were talking about Lamar Odom.
Not only about
That's the
Odom, I'm
conclusion.
talking about the Whitney Houston.
Forget about the Whitney
Bobby
Houston,
Crump,
the whatever.
All of them.
Let me tell you.
They keep losing their own.
Well, they don't keep losing nothing.
I'm gonna say this.
They don't-
The
they
black
don't-
community is dealing with realer stuff.
Hold on.
Then,
please.
yeah,
Let me speak one at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look,
Me, I'm
I
finished.
even think the Caucasians have lost more people to drugs and alcohol and addiction and more than blacks. How many people have we lost? We can name names here. What about Brittany Murphy? What about this guy that did this
Let's not even go
movie,
into that.
Clandestine in New York? What's his name?
So you want us to be like?
No. It's not about being like them.
She
It's
wants to be
about,
like them.
It's about people making decisions and taking responsibilities for their actions.
Right.
Period. Lamar Odom lived his life. He's surrounded by people that are not black.
That love him.
Up to that's no fault of his own.
Love.
That's his what
Love.
he chose.
Do you know the
Okay.
meaning
Love. Yes, I do. I know the meaning of
What does that have
love.
to
Should we
do- What
conclude?
does that have to do with anything?
Mr. Eric,
Let's just conclude,
let's
Joe.
conclude.
Let
Let me start with the conclusion. Can I start? Or you want to start? Since you're talking,
let's
go
I'm
ahead.
talking. Let me just
Go ahead,
conclude.
go ahead, please.
Go.
Wow. All right, guys. Look, I love Lamar as a person. I've dated outside my race. I've married outside my race. It's not about, I don't hate him for going outside his race to marry. That's his decision. That's his choice. Now, but what I have a problem with some of my brothers here on this set is that, and I want to blame the black community for Lamar's decisions and Lamar's outcome based on his decisions. No, that's wrong. Look, what we condone here on APT is we support positivity, keeping things real. We're here to inform, entertain, educate. Okay, whatever is going on in society, we should use it to learn. LD or AE or both of them said something about our culture, where we came from. That we have a lot of positive values that America should look into. We being African, there are some things we look out for ourselves as a community.
Right.
We do things based on what my father's name will represent. Most Americans don't do that. American culture does not even think about that. Everybody's about themselves, individuals, solo. So I think it's about time we look into some values, some family values, because those things affect the way you treat other people in society. It affects the way you treat your environment. If you start thinking about, how does this affect my family name? How does this affect my brother? Because if something is going to affect your brother negatively, then it's going to affect the world negatively. That's period. So this topic is we are very passionate, as you can see, we're very passionate about it. I love Lamar as a person. I love his skills. He won the number six man award. I think he's a great talented player. He's awesome. But whatever Lamar chooses to do as an adult, Lamar is an adult, okay? People around him should help him. People around him should help him if they can. But Lamar is the first person that can help himself, period. That's my conclusion.
I think my conclusion is basically the end of what you just said. The last thing you was talking about was, him helping himself. Do you want to be helped too? That's another aspect of it. that we're not really touching
Serious.
on.
Do you want to be
Do
helped?
you want to be helped, and do
Wow.
you realize that you need help? And I'm pretty sure that he knew that he needed help, but like I said, if there's no support, you feel like you're by yourself. Another thing that we're not, it's really hard to, I've never been a Laker before, but being a Laker, I know it sounds very like, what am I talking about this, but being a Laker is very different from being any other player from any other team.
True.
It's a different thing.
True.
Completely different thing.
The swagger.
It's a different, and you know, I wasn't even alive. I was alive, but I was a baby during like Showtime era. And the Inglewood. My point is, this is my point. My point is, Lamar's life experiences. He's touched pinnacles that I have yet to even see with my own two eyes yet in life. So it's really difficult for me to judge too much on the things that he's done or the things he's doing. I'm not saying that the things he's doing are right or I would do the exact same things. But what I'm saying is that when you check the life experience, you check the timeline, you check what this guy's been through. You know, it's not an excuse, but I feel like that's a part of what you got. You know, and personally, I think that I'm very torn with this situation because Pascal brings up some good points. I agree with the fact that USA stands for what? You stand alone. You stand alone, right? Because you do stand alone.
Wow.
But we come from a collectivist culture whereby if it's utilized the right way, you can't really fall because somebody's always there to hold you.
Africans, right? Or
African
Nigerians.
cultures.
Okay, thank you. Just to say
African culture, and it's not just Nigerians. African culture is a collectivist culture.
Yeah.
Period.
Cultures outside of America.
America, exactly. Or
I'm
collectivist
just gonna
culture.
be real with you,
And it's
man.
it's the truth. It's the truth.
It's true.
So I kind of understand where Pascal's coming from to a certain extent because I'm like, we don't hold each other enough like we should. But at the same time, you know what time it is. Like, none of y'all, I have to live my life. None of y'all can just tell me like, hey, just do what you're supposed to do. Handle your business as a man, but I can't really tell you what to do. But just, you gotta handle your own. If you need some help, somebody to talk to, but I can't do the work for you. You gotta handle your own, you're your own man. That is what I'm trying to say. So I think there's a balance that is there that it's kind of like you need to be able to hold your own, but at the same time, there's no guidance. If you're just going off of raw talent. If you notice, a lot of the people that make it and stay, there's some sort of family grounding, or they're really smart. I'm not saying Lamar's a dummy, but what I'm saying is there's some balance somewhere. You ain't gonna be in there lasting in this game and just be going years or years upon years without being very intelligent or having good family structure, or somebody to say, you know what, don't drink that. Don't do that.
Fathers.
It's impossible.
Should I conclude?
Go ahead.
Okay. First and foremost, birds of the same feather flock together.
Ta-da.
There's no druggie here.
Okay.
And no druggie can make it to this panel because we won't even know how to help him.
It's
It's just the truth. No, I'm dead serious. For real. So if I don't know the experience of your problems, I really don't know how to help you. So I can't tell Kobe Bryant how come he didn't help him because Kobe Bryant doesn't know how to help people who are using drugs.
Right.
It's just the truth.
That's not his job.
It's not his job.
True.
Kobe Bryant has his family, whatever the case may be. But the thing that I need to go back to is I've always told my friends, you can bring me the most gangster who's lived in the most gangster neighborhood in America. I'll take him to the nice areas of Nigeria and he will come back a pastor. I'm dead serious. Because the reason why I go back to Nigeria a lot is to remind me values of life in America.
Oh yeah.
It's not that Nigeria is a bad place to be. It's just that you get to see a broader scope of people who don't have. And you understand the value of having. So someone like Lamar Odom has gone through a lot because before he went to, I don't know if you guys follow basketball a lot, before he got to the Lakers, he played for the Clippers and he was getting suspended for smoking weed. So he's always had these issues that followed him. I think it stems from the problems he dealt with growing up. Also, the absentee father is a big deal.
You trying to act like it's not a big deal?
People want to act like it's not a big deal. A father needs to be in a man's life for the
Period.
I just watched the Lion King play.
Wow.
It's true.
That's deep. That's deep, man.
because of that, I'll take one conclusion.
I just watched the Lion King play yesterday. It sounds like, so you know, it's a play, it's a theater, whatever it is.
Ew, you watch the Lion King play.
Nah, for real.
Oh, that's
but
not
one thing that I
natural.
remember is one of the first scenes. Simba is walking with his father Mufasa, His father says, this whole kingdom, wherever the light shows, this is yours.
Wow.
The kid says, how about that dark place? He says, son, you don't go there, right? Simba, as a young kid, went there. His father came to save him, and he said, you disobeyed me. And it was a big problem. And he told his assistant, take this girl that Simba came here with, take her home. I need to teach my son a lesson, right? The lesson he taught his son was not punishing his son, but he was just reminding his son why you can't do certain things. In this Lamar Odom case, I know we're looking at it as a capsule, but it's a big issue.
That's what I'm saying.
Number one, that is just not, it's not just black. When it comes to drugs, it is not just black.
It has no color.
No.
Yeah.
But the foundation of avoiding these kind of problems is family structure.
Yeah. And if we ain't got
Big
that,
time. If you ain't got that, the boys probably gonna go
Or
astray.
air.
Okay, I know that
Second conclusion.
I didn't want to say anything before,
Part
but
two.
I will say something.
Okay.
part two.
Some friends you meet in life might be closer to you than brothers.
True. True.
Because I have
That is real.
I have a couple of those.
Right.
I say shame.
Am I one of those?
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
I manage you.
I don't have brothers, but
But yeah. So what I'm saying is this, right? I did say shame on this, shame on the NBA ex players and all that. The reason why I said that is this: Lamar is one of you guys. I didn't say go out of your way. I didn't say you have to force a grown man to do what he doesn't want to do. Just a simple phone call to make him feel like some people care.
That's
Don't get
important.
around.
True, that's big.
Just a simple inviting him for dinner could have stopped this.
True.
Just when I know you said Kobe was on a professional setting in Vegas, right? When this thing happened, right? I don't know the real story.
Yeah, something like that.
But just Kobe inviting them to his room.
Could have made a difference, yeah.
And we don't know if he did or not.
And we don't know if he did or not.
Exactly.
Right?
True.
Now, I know it's not the job of anybody to take care of anybody. Just a phone call from a Magic Johnson who's a Laker. Because once you're a Laker,
Ex-Laker,
you're always
a
a
Laker.
Laker, right? Just a phone call from Magic, right? Inviting Lamar to a tea, right? A tea section, or just let's have a tea, or could have changed
Could have.
a lot of things.
Of course.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is this: black people out there, if you get up there, I'll give you an example. Many times, Ike, you've looked at me without me saying anything. Said, "But yo, what's wrong?" Am I lying?
True.
Because you
No,
know when
no,
I take my risk,
Right.
but yo, he can just look at me and know that something is wrong. And many times you've called me 2 a.m. in the morning, right? Many times you call me sometimes and you just want to talk. Do I say get off the phone because I'm? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talk, right? I remember you bringing a bottle of wine to my place one time. I didn't see you left a bottle of wine in front of my door. You just said thank you, right? I didn't give you any money, did I? It's just that we shared, we talked, right?
Yeah,
So
you never brought a bottle of my wine.
Oh, come on, Bobby, it's coming back.
hold on, yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is this: brotherhood should not be only based on.
There
love.
you go. Cheers
Alright,
to
real
that.
Yes.
Real talk.
That's the key
Anything.
word.
Alright.
Brotherhood.
Look out for
It
each
should not
other.
be only based
Thank
on
you.
God, please.
Alright.
Look out for
Cheers.
each other.
Cheers. We'll look out for each other. Make this work.